as a black man, as a black head coach, kind of what your thoughts are watching all the protests, if this has at all made you feel kind of more positive that there's going to be change and sustained change, Mike? Or is this something that we're seeing for now and you're afraid is going to disappear in 2 months?
Yeah, I'll go back to your point about the college coaches, because I think the specific about college coaches is a discussion for another day. But I think in this big scheme, it is a small part, a microcosm of what is problematic, right? There's not enough diversity in positions of influence and positions of authority and true decision-making positions across the board. College coaching is just one example, right? For me, I'm a naturally optimistic person. I believe in the good of people in general. These last 2 weeks feels different to me. I told my staff and my players this last week, because it's almost been unanimous. There's been a few who may have tried to dig at it, but for the most part, everyone's accepted that what they watched in that video with George Floyd was grossly unacceptable, an embarrassment to our country. That's that right. People around the world saw a person have his life literally taken away by another person on the streets in view of public people, right? So it's hard to defend that one. And because of that, there's an opportunity for everybody to say, we don't want that to be what people think is possible. We want people to come here because it's the home of the brave and the land of the free, and not because if you don't look like somebody or you're not as educated or because you don't have as much money that you're going to be considered a second-class citizen. And so I think that we have to be active in making sure that this doesn't die down, right? I don't know if the protests can last forever, but I think the protests need to lead to the next steps. What are the actions that need to be taken? What are the policy changes that need to be made? How do we get more people in the room who have diversified questions? Because again, if even for me, if I just sit around a table of black guys, similar thinking as me, I'm not going to grow as much as if I'm challenged to think about the way somebody sees
talking. Yeah, you and me talking.
Yeah,
absolutely.
The way I grew up is totally different than the way our golf coach grew up here at Oklahoma State, than Mike Gundy grew up. So we need to have conversations like, what was it like for you? Here's my perspective. This is what it was like for me. And I think people from different areas, usually good people are comfortable having easy conversations, but when it challenges the things that maybe they've always been accustomed to, that's when it gets uncomfortable.
Sure.
And that's where we have to change our mindset. We have to engage ourselves in uncomfortable conversations. I have to be willing to accept that someone carrying a gun is something that they just know to grow up with. You couldn't carry guns growing up in New York. It just wasn't legal. So, I mean,
Boston, yes.
So when I come to a place and I think people carrying guns, I'm kind of like, whoa, I'm kind of nervous. But it's just kind of a way of life in some places.
Yeah. Yeah.
Growing up in New York, listening to a police siren is like hearing a bird's chirp in some parts of the country. You know, you don't get alarmed when you hear, just kind of like, is there a fire? Is there a fight? Did somebody get shot? You know? And so if we just open our minds that we can be different, and that's okay. But I think until we get more people, back to the college coaches question, in those rooms where they're at least expressing their views, and maybe the conversation can grow into, okay, I didn't think about that, and I wouldn't think about it on my own, but that makes a lot of sense. So I think there's an opportunity here for us to really, really take a step forward as a country. And I think college basketball can take the lead on this. I think athletics in general can take the lead on this.
I'm with you. I think everybody's got to do their part. Everybody's got to do their part. And it is nice to see a lot of people who look like me standing up and saying, you know what, enough is a fucking enough. Yeah. Enough is enough. And we're going to help. We're going to help change. And we all need to be educated.
No question.
Right? We all do.
And I tell people all the time, it's not just a black and white deal. It's
Right.
a humanity deal. Like, we just have to care about each other enough to where if I see a black person treating a white person poorly, I need to be able to challenge that and say, that's not right.
Right.
We can't be friends if that's how you treat people. So we have to be able to affect our small circles first, the people that we care about. So we all have people maybe in our families or that we're friends with that we know sometimes do things that we're like, I don't know if we should be doing that, but do we challenge that person? Do we stand up and say, hey man, I mean, I think you should apologize.
There'll be more of that now. There'll be
Sure.
more challenging.
There
And
should
that's a
be.
good thing. You're right. It's a good thing as long, you got to handle it the right way. Right. I mean,
Absolutely.
there's a way to kind of talk through it. And I think that's the key to make sure that you're getting through to that person.
Absolutely.
Right. I mean, if you can affect one and that person affects one, it just keeps snowballing.
Yeah.
And I think that's,
part of the issue is right now there's a misconception that this is purely black and white. And I tell people all the time, there is some black and white to this, right? When I get pulled over by police officers, my heart starts racing because I don't know how I'm talking like, not like I robbed the bank, right? If I rob the bank and I get caught by the police, I should be worried.
That's right.
But if I'm just speeding and I'm going 15 over the speed limit, how many of us haven't done that?
Oh,
right?
God. Right.
But I get pulled over and I'm like, man, I hope this is just going to be about the speeding.
Right.
And you may get pulled over and you don't even think about it.
I don't think about Mike. I'm not thinking about it. I'm thinking about doing.
You're probably like, man, I wish this dude would just leave me alone today.
Yeah, I'm thinking about I'm late. I'm late for wherever I gotta go. Just, you know what I'm thinking? How long is this dude gonna keep me here?
Absolutely.
That's all I'm thinking. Is like, I only got 10. I'm late for this game, or I'm late for whatever. Like, I hope this only takes 10 minutes, and then I'm pissed off when it takes 20. But no, I can't relate. I can't relate to that. I've never even thought about that.
Nah, Jeff, if you and I walked into a nice high-end store and we both wanted to buy our wives a nice purse or something, right? When you walk into the store, you're a shopper.
Yeah.
And I can walk into the same store. I could probably afford the same bag.
Yep.
I think. I don't know how much they pay.
Oh, you make a little more than I do. I know what you make.
But I might be a shopper.
No.
But I might not be.
Right.
So that's kind of what the privilege conversation is, and people don't want to accept.
100%.
It's just that you get the benefit of the doubt.